This lesson is about expressions. Here you're going to learn how to solve for an unknown using only letters. Okay, so before we had numbers. This is just like part 2. So we're going to solve for an unknown using only letters. Now, how to do that? This is just like how to solve for an unknown with numbers, except for you missed the simplification step. Okay, nothing goes away, nothing gets combined. Okay, so we keep the same general rule, and we can still follow PEMDAS. All right, so let's look at this. If we're solving for t using v naught, a, and v, that means we're using this first equation right here. So v equals v naught plus at. So we want to get t alone. Okay, so PEMDAS tells us we get rid of the addition first and then the multiplication. And so does our general rule. V naught is least attached, and then we get rid of a. So in order to get rid of v naught, we subtract. You get v minus v naught equals at. Okay? So we just subtracted v naught, just like we did before with the numbers. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and check it. Okay, but now we just can't simplify it down. It can't go anywhere. Okay? It's not becoming one number, it still stays 2. Now we got to get rid of the a. So we divide by a. So v minus v naught divided by a is equal to t. Okay? And that's my expression, solving for t with an unknown. Okay? Now, let's try this next one. We're solving for v naught. We're using v, a, x, and x naught. So the thing we're missing is t. So we're using the second equation because it doesn't have t. All right, so v squared equals v naught squared plus 2a x minus x naught. Now this is pretty fun and pretty easy if you take a look at it. You'll see that things least attached to v naught. This whole thing altogether is least attached to v naught. So we can subtract that from both sides. So we get v squared minus 2a x minus x naught is equal to v naught squared. Now the squared is still attached. We want to get rid of that, so we just have to take the square root. That means that this whole thing right here is my expression. All right. So let's try a different page, a different set of equations. Okay, we're going to solve for f using v, r, m. Now I gave you this one because, well, I'm not expecting you to be able to do this right now. It works. All right, f equals ma. Okay, so in order to solve for this, we need m and a. However, a is not one of our variables we're given. We're not allowed to use a. So we have to get a in terms of something else. So here we have a in terms of v and r. So f is equal to m times a. And a is equal to v squared over r. So there you go. F in terms of v and r. So it's m v squared over r. You could have left it any other way with the parentheses. It's the same thing. Okay? Just whichever way you like to write it. All right, let's solve for v using m and k. So we're looking at this first equation. Okay? K equals 1/2 m v squared. Now, when we dealt with letters, or with numbers, we were able to multiply that 1/2 out, get rid of it, okay? Here we can't. So we divide by 1/2. Okay, so divide everything by 1/2. Now, k divided by 1/2 is equal to 2 times k. Okay, so 2k is equal to m times v squared. Okay, next thing to get rid of is the m. Divide by m. Divide by m. 2k over m equals v squared. Last step, take the square root. You get 2k over m square rooted. Oops. Equals v. Okay? Just like algebra, same steps. Least attached, divide if it's being multiplied, add or subtract. Okay? Just can't simplify. Keep everything in terms of letters. It can get ugly if it's long enough, but it's simple to do step by step if you take the time to do each step. Alright, let's solve for r using m, g, and u, and m. So we're going to be doing this one. So, ug is equal to negative g m1 m2 over r. Alright, so we're solving for r. So the quickest way to do this is to cross multiply, because if we're solving for r, we're looking for r equals, which means r cannot be in the denominator, it must be in the numerator. So cross multiplication, ug times r equals negative g m1 m2 over r. Oh, sorry, we already multiplied by the r. No more r in the bottom. Alright, so r's out of the bottom. We're good to move on. Okay, so to get r alone, we divide by ug. And we get r equals negative g m1 m2 over ug. Okay? Now, this one's a little tricky, but I suggest that you pause this and see if you can't figure it out. We're solving for TS, so we're using the first equation, or we're using TS, so we're using the first equation and we're solving for M. Pause, see if you can do it, give it a whirl. Alright, now let's see if you're right. So TS is equal to 2 pi square root m over k. Alright, we want to get m alone, because we're solving for what m equals. So the first thing we do is divide by 2 pi. So I get TS divided by 2 pi is equal to the square root of m over k. Our next step, let's get rid of the square root. That's the next thing that's least attached to m. So we're going to square it, and we're going to have to square both things. Alright, so I have t sub s squared over 4 pi squared equals m over k. K is being divided by m, so we're going to want to multiply it. Okay, so multiply both sides by k, and we get ts squared times k over 4 pi squared equals m. Did you get that right? Hopefully you did. Alright, so that's expressions. Hopefully you learned how to solve for an unknown using only letters. Basically, it's the same steps as algebra, All you got to do is not simplify. Realize that those variables aren't going away. If you take it step by step, it's not too bad. All right, thank you very much, and good luck.